Kaya nga nagkakagulo tayo eh. Dahil walang express provision eh.
Though there is a tax law authorizing PAGCOR to regulate POGO operations of POGO businesses.
RA 11590 yon. Now, when the President ordered all POGOs to be banned, paano po yung offshore gambling operations sa loob ng mga export processing zones? Were they included in the pronouncement of the President?
There is no distinction. When the President declares the banning of POGO, he did not mention any distinction. So it applies to all POGOs.
Madam, hindi niya qualify.
Yes po.
Yes. Do you agree with that, Madam Attorney of PAGCOR?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, pati yung mga offshore gambling operations sa CESA, according to the interpretation of the executive, kasali po sila sa mawawala. Is that clear? Tama?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes. Sige. Number one, yung jurisdiction ng PAGCOR, the President has to issue a rescinding order of Executive Order number 13. Would you agree, Madam? Kasi sinabi mo kanina, there needs to be an act. Tama?
Yes, sir.
Kasi if you do not rescind that, it's still in effect.
Yes, sir. Tama po.
Yes, tama. Now, for the cessation of online gambling operations, insofar as the export processing zones are concerned, kailangan ma-amend yung kanilang charter. Would that be correct from the DOJ?
If there is an existing charter, then the charter should be amended first.
Hindi naman mag-exist itong mga zones na ito na wala silang charter eh. Apeco, Bataan, and Cagayan.
Then the charter should be amended, sir.
Yes, so kailangan yon. So, kaya ko tinatanong ito kasi trabaho po namin yun eh. Di po ba? So that we will follow the order of the President. Tama po. And for the other online gambling operations, what is needed is to rescind Executive Order number 13. And that's not part of the legislative. That's part of the executive. Tama po? Para lang maliwanag yung responsibilidad natin eh.
Yes,
Di po
sir.
ba?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, having cleared that, matanong ko nga po yung PAGCOR at saka DOLE. Kasi sila po ang nabanggit dun sa pananalita ng ating Pangulo eh. Na PAGCOR is given up to the end of the year to allow the winding up of operations of the POGOs. It would mean the legal ones, the ones with licenses, and DOLE to take charge of providing them other means of livelihood. Yun po yung general statement ng ating Pangulo. Now, Mr. Chairman, ano po ang plano ninyo? Kasi kayo po ang na-mention na magpatupad ng kwan. Would your action be only for those POGOs with licenses? Or would it include all the kinds of POGOs?
I believe this is all-encompassing na po. Sa lahat po ng POGOs yan. Na yun,
Yeah.
ang amin lang pong jurisdiction, ay may lisensya na na-issuehan namin. Dahil yung pong mga illegal wala na pong lisensya ng PAGCOR yun.
And therefore, they're legal from the very start.
Alin po yung legal?
Yung illegal na POGOs. Yung wala lisensya.
Opo.
So, they should be run after.
Illegal na po yun. Yun
Yes,
po
kaya
ang
from the very
tinutulis-
start.
Opo, from the very start.
Yes. So, yun po yung aking gustong malaman na ano po yung kasi narinig ko kasi kanina sabi po niyo you yourself and the Secretary of the DILG will create a task force. Yun na po. So, I presume that the one who will head the task force would be the Secretary of the Interior and Local Government.
Actually,
Would that be correct?
Yes,
Assumption?
Congressman Acop. Nabuo na po last week. Nagpapamiting na po si Secretary Abalos noong Sabado po, nag-umpisa na. Sa Clark nung umaga at nung hapon ay sa Camp Crame.
Okay. So, all the agencies concerned are already part of the task force.
Where they were all present. DOJ, DOLE, PNP, NBI, nandun po lahat.
Mr. Chairman, ako, nag-aalala na itong mga illegal na POGOs pupunta sa mga export processing zones. Kasi matagal yung paggawa ng batas na ma-amend yung batas. Or sila po ay magkakaroon ng kumbaga sa kwan, they will continue operating illegally. Yan ang nakikita ko, having come from the law enforcement sector of this country. Yun po yung kwan. So, I wish you the best of luck in this endeavor to fulfill the order of the President. Marami pong salamat, Mr. Chair.
Sakto. Ay, nako, salamat po. So, it's raining so hard outside and it's still the flood is like in this level already. So, we might as well continue our discussion. Hindi kasi hanggang dito daw yung baha eh. Hindi, sige, Congressman Paduano, then briefly ako, tapos tapusin na natin. Si Congressman Ace Barbers. Sige, Congressman Paduano.
Anyway, unahin ko lang, nakalimutan ko yung isa. Mr. Chairman, kasi the lawyer from PAGCOR mentions about a jurisprudence in the Supreme Court, but you never mentioned about the case. Can you cite that case? Just for us to be enlightened, and at the same time, we will check also if indeed that is the jurisprudence is applicable in the case of the POGOs.
Sir, let me just search for the title. Sir, let me just give you the title of the case later on. However, in this jurisprudence decided by the Supreme Court, the discussion is whether PAGCOR has the authority to license internet gaming.
Attorney, sorry, that is your interpretation. We need the case.
Yes,
That's
sir.
why next time, attorney, do not cite any jurisprudence.
It's the
If you are-
Jaworski case, sir.
Sorry?
Jaworski case, sir.
When was that?
Can we submit, Your Honor, the full title of the case and the GR number?
Attorney, just to remind you, next time you should not cite any jurisprudence in this committee because you have to be prepared.
I'm
Diba?
sorry, Your Honor.
Kasi hindi pwede yung citing such jurisprudence tapos hindi mo nga kabisado. Mr. Chairman, nakalimutan ko yung isa. Papasok lang ako muli mamaya, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Okay, Congressman Barbers. And then I will be presenting something lang.
Mr. Chair, if I may just answer Congressman
No,
Paduano.
present ko lang tapos ikaw na. Please.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
if I
ma'am.
may just mention po the GR number, it's GR number 144463 po.
Is that?
It's the Jaworski versus the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation
That
case,
was
sir.
2004.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Mamaya.
Okay, Congressman Barbers, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to direct my question to the telcos. Kasi parang hindi, I just wanted to be clarified on the sale of the SIM cards. Apparently, ang ginamit ng illegal POGO operators o yung illegal na POGO ay para makapagpatuloy sila ng pang-i-scam, ginamit nila yung itong SIM cards na ito. And they sent text messages to random people, maybe. And if you get attracted to the offer as stated in their text message, maraming naluloko.
Wala pa.
Especially if it's a quick buck or quick money schemes. Maraming ganon. And that's precisely the point why these scammers exist. Kasi maraming nalulokong Pilipino dito Diba? Now, isa sa naging rason kaya para sila makapanloko o naging instrument para sila ay makapanloko itong mga SIM cards na ito. Is that the correct assumption?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So, dahil meron silang SIM card. Tama? Now, ang tanong, when you sell bulk or volume SIM cards to an entity or to an individual, may records ba kayo niyang mga yan? Kung sinong bumili?
On the part of Smart, Mr. Chair, meron kaming records dun lang po sa distributor namin, regional distributor. And from regional distributor, may mga distributor pa sila sa baba, retailers, and so on.
Yun Actually, that's... what about the other telcos? Do you have the same practice?
Mr. Chair, we have the same practice hanggang dun po sa master distributor. However, meron po kaming incentivization kasi hindi na po namin controlled underneath the master distributor. So what we do is to incentivize the retailers and the resellers to use our technology so that we will have records kung saan siya pupunta. Pero sometimes it does not happen on the ground po there are some...
You see, now I'm glad that you admitted that, Attorney Cruz, no? Kasi hindi nyo na namomonitor what's happening sa baba Diba? Because it seems that the telcos are just interested dun sa bulk sale. Nakapagbenta na kayo ng 1 million SIM cards, example. And you don't anymore monitor what happens pababa. Kasi sabi niya may mga sub-distributors pa. Minsan nga, maraming mga sari-sari store nagbibenta ng di ba? Ng SIM cards. Now, if someone buys a SIM card and say registers a fictitious name, diba? So you just just record that, diba? Wala naman way for you to check kung totoo ang pangalan nung tao yon, correct? Is there a way? Is there a system where the telcos can really determine whether the names that are given to them are totoong pangalan or fictitious yung pangalan?
At present, Mr. Chair, none.
So you see, that's where perhaps the problem appears to be starting, no? Nakapag-scam, milyong-milyong piso or maybe even more sa ilang daang o ilang libong tao. In fact, I'll tell you honestly, I've been receiving text messages that are written in Chinese characters. Hindi ko nga maintindihan, hindi naman ako marunong mag-Chinese. But I'm surprised that they have a record of my number and I keep receiving all these messages. And I was advised by an expert, sabi niya na pag ganon, just ignore it. Ignore mo, hindi mo naiintindihan. Perhaps the message was directed to a cellphone owner who speaks Chinese or who understands Chinese. Siguro, baka ganon. Siguro, random din sila nagpapadala ng ganong messages at pag may makuha, mayroong magka-interest, siguro, pwedeng maloko o kumagat. Now, dun sa raid na ginawa ng PAOK, may I know, Yusek Gilbert, kung ilang SIM cards yung nakuha ninyo?
In some Pogo hubs that we raided, there are about 40,000 SIM cards. Others we recovered 10,000 or 11,000 SIM cards.
So, ganun karami ang
it's
SIM
always
cards.
in the thousands, sir, not the hundreds.
So, just imagine, no? 40,000, 10,000, 11,000 SIM cards used for scamming Hindi naman binenta yan para gamitin sa totoong hindi ba? Now, what is now the system that the telcos, what would be the accountability of all the telcos here? Does the SIM card indicate kung Smart siya o Globe siya, Yusek?
Yes, sir.
So, anong pinakamaraming nabenta?
Sa nakikita namin, sir, Smart and Globe, sir.
So, Smart and Globe, you see, naka-indicate pala doon na yung telco ninyo ang maraming nabibenta. And naging instrument yan ngayon for these scammers for their illegal activity. So I guess, Mr. Chairman, when we again write our committee report, this particular issue must be resolved. Paano natin i-address yung issue na hindi ganun yung pagbibenta ng SIM card, dapat may strict control and regulation. Dapat yung mga numbers na, kunyari, you sold 40,000 SIM cards and all those numbers must be recorded kung sinong bumili. Hindi pwedeng bulk lang na isa lang. Diba? And I guess there must be a system or a way for the telcos to really monitor hanggang sa baba. Kung paano gagawin yon, I really don't have any idea. But Mr. Chairman, I would insist that in writing our committee report, we must make a profound proposal as to how to address the issue of a bulk sale ng ating mga SIM cards. Kasi dyan ho nag-uugat o nag-uumpisa yung problema natin dito sa mga scammers. So that's just the point I'd like to make.
And I
Mr.
really
Chair.
would like to agree on that. Kasi nga, medyo nagulat din ako doon sa SIM card law natin. Medyo, siguro absent ako nung pinag-usapan yung SIM card law. Pero hindi ko alam na pwede pala tayo mag-ari ng maraming SIM card. Multiple pwede, no? We have to
Mr.
review
Chairman,
that.
isa pa, nandito na rin lang yung telcos
Yes.
Kasi nga ako, I've been receiving text messages, no? Ang tanong, although I said na hindi ko naman naintindihan yung messages dahil written in Chinese characters, paano kaya nila nakuha yung number ko? Di ba? Paano kaya nila nakuha yung number ko? Maybe the telcos must be asked to explain how.
Maybe they know something that we do not.
Maybe, Mr. Chair.
Oo, baka na-hack.
If it was the cellphone of Dan Fernandez or Caraps Paduano, I wouldn't mind.
With that, the Chair would like to recognize Congressman Paduano.
Region Inter lang, Attorney, I've checked, di ba, yung EO was issued to 2016. The case was 2004.
Yes, sir.
Oh, how can you invoke that jurisprudence? And it is all about internet gaming, not offshore gaming. Oh, so you cannot invoke that.
Sir, just to clarify po, no, we are referring to the discussion po regarding RA 9487 where it was mentioned po na Senator Jaworski would like to exclude internet gaming po in the authority of PAGCOR to issue licenses. However, the exclusion was not reflected po in the final version of the law. Hence po, it is based on that po, PAGCOR has the authority to license or to authorize all games of chance except if it is covered by other jurisdictions, or let's say for the charters of other jurisdiction, local government units, and other covered by other regulatory powers po.
Attorney, but we are talking here about the POGO, di ba? And you admitted that under the EO, wala explicit provision that allows you. Di ba?
Yes, sir. No explicit mention.
Yeah, inamin mo na yan. Then, your argument, legal yung ginawa ng PAGCOR because of that jurisprudence, di ba? In which that jurisprudence is all about internet gaming. And that was a 2004 case. Ang layo. Di ba? You cannot invoke that jurisprudence. 2004, wala pang POGO. Second, that is all about internet gaming. And we're talking about offshore gaming operations. So, Hindi papasayan dito, attorney. Yung argument mo, invoking sa jurisprudence. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.